Hey guys, good morning. I am getting ready to do one of the biggest projects I have ever done so far. And I'm excited, but I'm also a little bit nervous. Somebody reached out to me on Instagram, a local business, and they're just getting started. They're doing a food cart and they wanted branding, the whole package. They needed a logo design, they wanted the branding kit, they need signs, aprons, hats, you name it. I was so excited that they chose me to work with them on this project, and today I am actually receiving the banners that I created. Like, it's a whole thing. I'm gonna try and explain it so it makes sense to you guys. I've already done the branding kit. The aprons and hats are supposed to arrive this weekend, and the signs are supposed to arrive today. This morning, my husband and I are gonna go over to the cart, measure out the templates so that when the banners come this afternoon, I can get them all cut down and do the hems on them and set the grommets, and hopefully it'll all work out. I'm kind of low-key nervous about that part. Like, the whole project, that's the part that I'm most concerned about, but I think we can make it happen. It's 9:33 now. We're gonna go over to the client's house. Then when the banners get here, I'll show you everything. I hope you're excited. I am. I'm excited about this, like branding a whole entire business from scratch. Super, super fun. Let's get into it. It's here. The signs are here. I'm excited and very nervous at the same time. So I'm gonna open these up and we will see what they look like. Okay, here we go. There should be 2 signs in here. Oh my gosh, that is huge. That is huge. So here's Crepe World. This is the one that I'm going to be installing for my client. There's two of these that are gonna go kind of like where on the side of the cart there's like an arch and a flat bottom. And then we've got the larger one. I don't know. I'm gonna have to do this on the floor in here probably, because that is, that's a big banner. Good morning. It's a few days later. It's been the weekend, so today's Monday. And I just wanted to update you on the whole items situation that I am waiting for things to arrive to me to do the job. I got a message, my embroiderer, who I found, I've never worked with her before. I found her online. She's a fellow small business owner. And I went with her because she had really good reviews and she didn't have a lot of sales. So I wanted to help out a smaller business, but I wanted to also make sure that I found somebody that had really good reviews. She was able to get the aprons done, and she said that she shipped the aprons, but the hats, her supplier that she gets these hats from lost the first shipment of hats, so she had to place a second order on Friday for more hats, and she's not expecting them until Tuesday or Wednesday. And she says that she's going to try and get them done that day and ship that day, and possibly sent one day if possible. So there's still a chance that they'll make it on time, but there's also a chance that they will not be here for my client's event, which is a huge bummer. As a business owner and as like a genuine person, I'm like, should I place another order and just not charge my customer and see if I can get hats from somebody local quicker, even though it's going to cost me a lot more? Like, my heart wants to do that, but my business brain is saying, no, you can't do that, because if you did that for every client you had, you would be living in a car. I just have to wait it out and see what happens. I've already informed my client and I gave them all the options that I could think of, and we decided that we're going to wait and try, hopefully, to see if these hats come in before the event. And if they're not here, then they just won't have hats, but at least they'll have aprons. The aprons are on the way. I haven't been able to track them. It still says pre-transit, so I'm really hoping that they start moving and tracking soon. But we have a week, well, like 5 days. The event is on Saturday. At the very, 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 very worst case scenario, I'm hoping that they'll arrive Saturday morning and I can get them to her on Saturday. Like, I'll just physically take them to where they are going to be. It's local, so I could do that. Best case case scenario, they come like Wednesday, Thursday, and I can just drop them off to her house and she has them ready to go. The banners came in. They're looking really nice. I printed everything on one giant banner with no hem and no grommets. So my goal later today is to roll it out. It's like 140 inches long, so it's a long sucker. So I'm gonna roll it out, make all my markings. I have my template that I got when I went over to my client's house to do measuring and things. So I have my template for the semicircle or the half circle. It's more like an arch with a line under it. So I have the template. I can lay that out, make my marks, add my hem length, do that. I have some hem tape that is coming tomorrow, and I already have the grommets and the punch for that. I'm very nervous. I'm very nervous to do that. It's the first time I'll be actually hemming. And I say hemming because I'm not sewing anything. I'm just using banner tape to fold the edge over so we have a nice finished edge, and then I'll be setting the grommets. So it's my first time doing anything like that, and I'm fine on the rectangle. I'm pretty sure I have that under control. What I'm worried about is the arch. I'm gonna do some research this morning to see if I can find a good tutorial online and how to hem a curved banner, because I really don't want it to rip or fray in the sensitive areas, and I just need to make sure it looks nice and finished. I have the vision in my head, so we'll see if I can make it happen. The last piece of the puzzle is the decal that is going onto the sandwich board, the chalkboard. I need to make and cut that, and it's 15 inches wide, and I think we're doing about 6 inches tall. So I need to play around with my logo and the sizing and see if I can get that to work. I'm gonna be a busy bee today working on those items, marking and cutting the banners for her, doing her decal. I'm just gonna get it all out of the way, but before I do that, I have orders from Friday night that I need to get done. So I already have the stickers, the custom name stickers from Friday made because I did that on live. So all I need to do is throw them onto the computer, print them out, laminate, cut, and I'll have those, and then I need to make some of those orders. So that's my first priority this morning, so I can get those out the door. And then after that, I'll be working on marking and cutting the banners. I am walking out to get our mail right now. Hopefully it's been delivered. It's supposed to be the aprons and the hats. I'm hoping that they're there, they're both there, and that there's no issues. There's no package. Is it gonna get delivered tomorrow? All right, so I'm going to hope and assume that that was yesterday's mail, and today's mail hasn't delivered yet. I'm real nervous. So anyway, today my mom and I are gonna go pop down to the farmer's market, do some local deliveries, and hopefully by the time we get back, it will be here. And my banner tape is supposed to be here. I did get a different banner tape that delivered yesterday, but it's so thick, I just don't think it's gonna work. So I'm waiting for the tape to come today, and then I can roll the banners out and get them cut out and hemmed and set the grommets. It's gonna be fine, it's gonna be fine. I'm freaking out about it, but it's gonna be fine. Okay, I think it's here. I think it's here, I think it's here.
I don't know if this is what to wait for.
Yes! Oh, finally. It's very small. I hope they're both in here, and it's very light. That's concerning.
Out there. When you put it.
All right, so I opened the box, and what I thought were hats and aprons are just the hats. So I'm a little concerned. I need to figure that out. But I mean, the hats came out pretty decent. I thought that there was going to be a color difference between the logo and the words. They're both in white. So I need to double check that. But yeah, I think they'll work. At least the hats are here. Okay, I can't tell, but it's, oh, maybe That's the other package. My mom just went out to the mailbox to see if it was in there, and it looks like it might be. Okay. Oh. All right, here is the next package. Where's the apron? Oh, this is difficult with one hand. Yeah, it's all the same color. I'm pretty sure I asked her to do 2 different colors, but I have to trust it.
Yeah, that looks all the same color, but it's not white. It's kind of a...
It's like a satin color,
yeah,
kind of.
Satin cream.
Well, regardless, it will work. The hats are here, the aprons are here, and the banners are here in one ginormous banner that I am cutting apart. And I did it that way because it was more cost effective to put them all together, but mostly I have to cut the smaller arched banners myself, because you can't find somebody to do that unless they actually come out and measure and do all that. So I'm kind of doing that part myself. So I did make a template. So I went over to my client's house and measured their food cart and kind of drew out a template on this roll of paper. This really long roll of paper. And so I'm going to cut the template out right now, and then I'm going to mark where I need to cut so that I leave enough room for the hem of the banners. So this is what the side piece looks like. I'm running out of room, but that is the template I made for their side semicircle. And it's upside down. It's actually much brighter on the other side, but that's how it unrolled. So now I need to cut that out to use as a template for these, the 2 on the bottom. Priority 1, cut that out. Priority 2, mark the 2 smalls and the long banner. Hey, here we go. I've got the first template down. It's on the thing, so you can just see the words behind it. So it's fitting really well. It might be a little low because there's a tiny bit of it right here. So I measured from the top of that 1 inch. And that's what this tiny little mark is right here, if it'll focus. And then I measured all the way around and just put these tiny marks. I've only done that side so far. Now I'm gonna do the same with this end. And I'm actually, this is about 6 inches, but we want it to cover a black bar that's down here. So it can actually hang a little bit lower. And now that I'm saying that, I think I want to make these more like the fold line. I don't know. I still have a lot of thinking and measuring to do before I cut. And then I have to do the exact same thing to that one. And then this is the long banner. So this is like 122 inches long. So I need to measure that and get that ready to cut as well. And I'm pretty sure that that's 7 inches tall also. Trying to measure like 20 times and think about it and measure again and think about it before I actually make any cuts. I'm really nervous to cut these apart and to set the grommets and just hope that they're in the right places. Like, it'll be fine. I just need to I need to be sure before I cut. And I also want to see how much waste I have left over because I need to use that to practice on. All right, here's the stitch. I have all of the templates in place. So the long one and the 2 semicircles. Now I need to mark around all of them and cut it out. So no more overthinking, I'm just gonna do it. So it needs to be 7 inches right here, and I think my template is 6 inches, but it needs to cover up a portion on the bottom. So I'm just going to measure 7 inches, because that's how wide it needs to be in the middle, and then I'm just gonna mark it from there. That was a lot of work, and as you may have been able to tell, I'm not the slenderest spring chicken, but I have surpassed my move goal today. So I have it all stenciled and outlined. Now it's time to cut, then it's time to tape. So I am by no means done playing around on the floor, but I at least want to get it cut out and possibly taped tonight, and then maybe tomorrow my husband and I will put the grommets in. Tomorrow's Friday. Yeah, we should be able to do that before we deliver. So I'm going to go ahead and get these all cut out, and hopefully I measured right. Now that the easy part is over, I'm going to, I don't know if I'm going to take the templates off or if I'm going to leave them on, but I'm going to put the tape on now. I'm going to do the long skinny banner first, because I feel like that's going to be straightforward and easy, and I'll kind of get the feel for the tape and figure it out on a straight edge. And then I will work on the curved banners. It's 9 p.m. right now. I'm hoping that I can get these all taped tonight. That way tomorrow morning, Garrett and I can set the grommets and then deliver them and install them. Okay, here we go. So this is the banner tape I'm using. Sign World Heavy Duty Banner Hem Tape, 1 inch by 164 feet. And this is for 13-ounce banners, which this is what it is. It's 13-ounce banner weight, and it looks like it's gonna do the job. Edge number 1. Now it's right side up right now. I have to flip it over. I need to figure out how I'm gonna do the corners, whether I'm gonna cut a whole square out or if I'm gonna miter it. But there has to be a grommet in the corner, so I don't know, I could go this way with it and then cut this part off and that part off. I'm not sure. I'm gonna Google it real quick. All right, after watching not one, but 2 YouTube videos that were drastically different in their techniques on how they hem banners, I now consider myself an expert. And I was completely wrong before. Do not cut the edges where the corners are to make it lay nice and flat. You actually want that bulk so that it reinforces where the grommet goes, and it's stronger when it is being held up to wind and things like that. So I'm going to hem the short edges first, and then I'm going to try and tackle the super long edge. But luckily the first video I watched gave some really good tips on getting a nice straight smooth edge. So I need to find a whole bunch of things that I can use as weights, and I need to get my bench scraper. I've got my little scraping tool. I have some ceramic coasters. Ooh, that one's broken. That I'm going to be using as the weights. I have my tape, my scissors, and we're going to hem the shortest edge of the banner first to get a feel for it. is 10:10 p.m. I did the long banner. It's all done. It looks great. I just have to set the grommets in it tomorrow. I am currently working on the two smaller banners, and I have transferred to the table because with the smaller banner I feel like I can do that on this table. It's still a little too long for the table, but it works. I'm fine doing the flat edge, the bottom, but the arch part, I'm really not sure how to do that part because I'm gonna have to cut it for it to lay flat. I can only do the best that I can do. But I think it's time for me to retire. I'm gonna go to bed, and then I'm gonna wake up in the morning, finish these, and then get the grommets in. Have a fresh pair of eyes and a fresh mindset. But I think I will just do the bottom, so the bottoms are ready to go, and then I'll think about the curve in the morning. Good morning. It is just about 8 o'clock a.m. on Friday, the 16th, and I am getting ready to do the curves on the banners. So the first thing that I did was I took the edge of the curve and I just kind of pre-creased it. I folded it over and pre-creased it about 1 inch. And the curve looks really good on the other side, but now I need to stick this down. And to get it to lay flat, I need to snip it in a few places so that it lays flat. So I think I'm gonna snip it next, and then I'm gonna put the tape on in sections so that it can kind of overlap on itself. And when I snip it, I'm just going to snip one line, and I'm going to stop about 1/4 inch away from the fold, and hopefully that'll work. So I'm going to do these two curved banners, and then we're going to set the grommets in all of them. So here's the long banner, and we just need to set the grommets in the corners and then about every 2 feet or so. That's what's happening this morning, and as soon as I get that done, I'm going to jump in the shower, and then we're going to deliver all of these goods to my client. And I'm also going to be putting decals on their sandwich board. This is cut out in white, so I don't know how well you can see it, but I have that, and I also have their actual logo portion, which is going to go in the middle. It goes like that, actually. It goes in the middle of the words, but I just don't know if I'm going to like this specific material, so I'm going to cut out a couple more, like an orangey color and then more of like a tan color. The tan is very close to the white, but I'm going to give them an option. Those are the closest colors that I could find, so I'm going to give them the option of which one they want to use on the board. And then I'll do just one in plain white also, and see how that goes. So here we go with the banners. So needs to go in each of the 4 corners and every 2 feet. Since it's so long, I don't know if we want to do every 2 feet or if we want to do like every 2 to 3 feet is what they say. All right, so I'm also cutting out the vinyl pieces to go on the sign. So I cut this one out of like this wood texture because I thought the color was really good. I'm just not sure if it's going to do what I want it to do on the board. So it's a possibility. Here's the words, but I'm also cutting out 2 more of these pieces, one in white and one in a very light cream color, just so that I can have some options when I get ready to put them on the board. And here's how the banner turned out. I still have to set the grommets. Garrett is testing that right now for me to see how that all works on scrap vinyl. But I'm pretty pleased with the edge. There is a spot on this side I didn't quite get where I creased it. It's not perfect, but it's still fine. It's just my OCD self. But I think it came out really, really nice. Here's the back side so you can see what that looks like. So I just made those slits, and then I just, section at a time, I just went over and creased it all together. So that is what the back looks like. So now I'm gonna do the other one. We're gonna get the grommet set, and then I'll get with my client and figure out a time to meet so I can do the install. You guys, that was probably the most challenging but rewarding job I've ever done. It's done. I am done. Oh, it's been a long project, the longest I've ever done. And I'm very thankful for the opportunity to have done it and to have gained the experience and the knowledge that I did along the way. I have discovered that I am not a super big fan of installing vinyl banners. It's not something that I am probably going to be putting into my catalog of services, but I'm happy to have had the experience. I did learn quite a bit. Through the whole process, the part that I loved the most was designing the brand kit. Being able to make the logo and get all of the colors and the fonts, the typography all finalized and make it look nice, and that's by far my favorite part. I don't have a problem ordering the banners and ordering other stuff, but this was a very specific instance where I actually had to make some of the banners partially myself. So I did have them printed, but when I received it, I had to cut them, I had to hem them, and I had to grommet them. Now, as you saw, my husband did the grommeting for me. Thank you. Because I could have done it, but it just made it so much easier having help. So I got all of that done and figured out. Then the installation, the actual making of the banners and the installation is something that I'm probably not going to be too quick to offer again. If somebody asks really nicely and they pay really well, then I might consider it, but it was a lot of work. I'm not afraid to do the work, but it's not the kind of work that where my heart is. My heart is in the graphics and the designing and the social media and things like that. So all in all, I had a fantastic time doing this project. I'm glad I had the opportunity to do it, and I hope that you guys enjoyed watching my process, the ups, the downs, the all arounds. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure you follow me over on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook so you don't miss out on my stories. And I am going to go change and take a nap probably, and then I'll be getting ready for some other events coming up really soon. So in the meantime, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.